Hey guys, how's it going? Kyle here, and I'm going to do a quick video, kind of a new, maybe possibly series even. Haven't determined exactly how far along I want to take this yet, so we'll see. But for the purpose of today, this past weekend we were in Edmonton at the Taste of Edmonton, and we did a cooking with beer class with the Buddha Boys, which is Chef Levi and I believe Chef Daniel. And Levi has a food truck called Attila the Hungry, yeah. And the food was spectacular all around. Just getting to hang out with those guys, it was great. Which kind of led me into this. They challenged us, and that's what I'm doing now. Is I'm going to answer that challenge by cooking with beer within this next week, and hopefully I win. Hey, so what we're going to do though is kind of walk you through the processes real quick, and yeah, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about and how I'm doing things. Alright, so the first thing we're doing is making a brine. So I've got about, just a little over 4.5 cups of water, boiling now, obviously rolling boil. And what I'm going to do is add some stuff to it. And I've got about, it's less than a third of a cup, about half of a third of a cup, and you'll understand why here in a few minutes, but I'm just going to kind of sprinkle that in here and let that dissolve. I don't want it to burn necessarily. I don't think it can burn actually, but so I've kind of reduced the heat a little bit. Also want to do an equal part of salt, excuse me, I already did sugar, but salt I'm going to go all the way to the full third of cup. And again, you'll understand why in a moment. So there's the same amount, add just a little bit of extra. Cool. And then and I'm going to stir this in, so again, I don't want it to stick to the bottom or anything. I don't know that it can, but I want it to melt. So, alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is grab Buffalo Butt is a local beer here in Texas. It's a port that has been recommended to go with pork type stuff, so I'm going to open this and pour it right on in here after it looks like all of this has dissolved, so we're in a good place here. I'm going to turn the burner off and remove it from the heat, and there we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour some ice in it first, I think. Alright, so I'm going to add some ice to it kind of slowly as we dribble in everywhere. Alright. Add a little bit more. Sweet. Alright, so I added 2 cupfuls of ice. And so that will cool it pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and add the beer here. And I'm only doing one of the beer for the brine here. And then I'm going to do a splash of lemon juice, or a couple splashes of lemon juice. A few splashes of lime juice. I'm going to put in some Worcestershire, 5, 6, 7, 8, sure, why not? And then, kind of the secret ingredient that I'm going to do here is a little agave nectar. And that's why I kind of did only part of the sugar up front, because I knew that this was going to add quite a bit of sugar. I'm going to add a healthy amount of that here. Yeah. Cool, get all that nectar out of there. Haha. That's enough. And then I'm going to add one dry ingredient just because I love the smell. I'm going to add some coriander seed to it, some ground coriander seed, and just kind of put the top here a little bit with it. Just give it a little bit of a different texture. And I'll probably add a little handful of pepper as well. But I'm going to quickly mix this in. And yeah, I'm going to throw a little handful of pepper in. Cool. And then pretty mildly mildly ground pepper. Cool, that'll work. So I'm going to stir this up for just a few moments, and then I'm going to put it into my bowl here. Alright, and so now I'm going to put it into the bowl here that we'll be brining in. Cool. And I have some, not French cut, but Chef Ramsay's probably rolling in his grave somewhere. Some little bone-on steaks that are, I guess they're tenderloin, pork tenderloin, or pork loin? Pork loin, yeah. That will be going in here. I've got 6 of these guys that I got from the local meat counter, and I'm going to add some ice because the water is still just a touch warm, so I'll add some ice to it and then we'll put it in the refrigerator. Alright, and so this is the finished brine is going to be in there for actually just a little bit over 48 hours, or under 48 hours I guess. I have a day and a half, a long day at work tomorrow, so today this will get saran wrapped here and saran wrapped again here, and then we'll foil it as well just for good measure. If we have foil. So actually we might have some in the counter. Anyways, we'll put foil on top, it'll go in the fridge, and that will be it for the next 48 hours. See you then. Alright, so now I grabbed some red potatoes, some little red potatoes, cut them up fairly haphazardly, but into some small pieces so they would cook a bit better. Put them into the pan, put some Cajun seasoning and salt on, brought them to a boil, lay the wooden spoon over to prevent boiling over, and then they added just a little bit of cheese, and this is kind of what they ended up becoming. So I was pretty happy with that, and I mean a little bit of cheese, a very little bit. Next, grabbed the green beans, and then I also cut the tips off, put some butter in a pan, and I sprinkled some salt over it, and added some balsamic vinegar as well. So there's a lot of them. There's a lot of green beans. So, and then I grabbed the pork chops, pulled them out of the brine. They looked and smelled incredible. And then I went ahead and just had some butter and just a little bit of oil in the pan and put them in, brought them up to browning on both sides there, and added the beer to deglaze and put it a little bit on both sides. Now this really pulled the flavor in from the pan itself and all the little goodies that were stuck to the bottom of the pan, and the butter just really pulls it all together, which again, that was taught at the class and was awesome. Continued to do that, and it really just stinking smelled incredible, really did. So this is the final look. You know, we're simple people here in Texas, but it really turned out well. So a little bit of this pork steak with green beans and mashed potatoes. So while it probably looks easier than it actually was, the wife bailed me out a couple times with pork also. It does have to cook longer, but it looks really good, it smells really good, and it tastes pretty good. So we're gonna have dinner now. Thanks.